This episode is brought to you by Accenture. When your advertising operations fall out of sync, everything else follows. Spotify and Accenture are working together to reinvent the rhythm of ad sales, using automation, analytics, and smarter workflows to simplify campaign delivery and access better data across the business. The result? Less time spent on operations, more time connecting brands with the moments and fandoms that matter most. Learn more at accenture.com/Spotify.
Running a small business means I wear lots of hats. When I put on my hiring hat, I can count on LinkedIn Hiring Pro to make it easy. LinkedIn Hiring Pro helps manage my hiring workflow, puts my job post in front of a unique network of professionals, and matches me with the best candidates for my business. I can also share my job with my network. No other job site lets me do that. No wonder most small businesses say they'd use LinkedIn Hiring Pro again. Hire right the first time. Post your job for free on LinkedIn today at linkedin.com/quality.
Hello and welcome to I Talk to Ghosts. And I also welcome you back to the Spirit Parlor. Pull the curtain shut behind you, settle in wherever you'd like to settle, because tonight we're keeping the lights low and the energy soft. I'm Jennifer, your resident medium, and as always, this is the place we talk about the things that don't always get talked about. The whispers between worlds, the nudges from your gut, the things that make you go, that's weird, right before something else weird happens. But tonight isn't about ghosts or readings or the veil. Tonight I want to talk about something a lot of you have been messaging me about lately. In past episodes, we talked about what to do when intuition is too quiet, what to do when it all seems a little bit too loud. And tonight we're going to talk about something a little more directly. What to do when you feel like you're in a spiritual funk. Like you're just not feeling it. And that you're going through the motions of your practice without any of it landing. And later in the episode, I have a special little alcove just for my witchy friends out there, because a witchy funk and a spiritual funk are cousins, but they're not twins, and you deserve support for both. So deep breath in with me and out. Let's get into it. First, let's just name it, because naming things takes their power down a notch. A spiritual funk is that stretch of time where you feel disconnected from your intuition, from meaning, from whatever you call the bigger picture in life. Prayer feels like you're talking to a wall. Meditation feels like sitting with a to-do list rather than sitting with your soul. And you used to feel held by something, and now you just feel alone in your own head. This is the thing I want you to hear first, before anything else. This is not a sign you've lost your gift, your faith, or your connection. It's not punishment. It's not proof you were faking it all along. It's more like the signal is still there. Something's just in the way. So let's talk about how you can clear the static. Gently, with no pressure, no 5-step plan that makes you feel worse if you can't complete it. Just some doors you can open if you feel like walking through them. And before we get into the activities, I want to pause here because I think we skip this step a lot. Sometimes we call it a spiritual funk, but really, life has been a lot. Work has been a lot. Caretaking has been a lot. Grief or a move or a relationship or just the sheer effort of being a person in a body this month has taken up all the energy you normally have left over for your practice. There's nothing wrong with your spirit. Your spirit is just tired, along with the rest of you. So here's the gut check I want you to sit with for a second. Is spirituality actually something that would help you right now? Or are you just feeling guilty for resting? Those are two very different things, and they ask for two very different responses. So if the honest answer is, I have some capacity, I just don't know how to use it, then yes, some of what we're about to talk about might genuinely help. And go ahead to the next part. But if the honest answer is, I'm running on empty and I've just been telling myself I should be able to meditate my way out of it, then the most spiritual thing you can do tonight is to close this episode, put on something cozy, and rest. Not as a failure, not as falling behind, but as a practice in itself. This episode, as well as myself, will always be here for you. You can come back anytime. There's no badge for pushing through the funk with more discipline. Your altar, your intuition, your guides, your gods, whoever or whatever you answer to, they're not clocking your absence as a strike against you. Rest is not a detour from your spiritual life. Sometimes it is your spiritual life, right now, in this season. So check in with yourself honestly before we go any further. And if the answer is rest, genuinely go rest. Like I said, I'll be right here in the spirit parlor whenever you're ready to come back. Still with me? Let's talk about some gentle ways back for whenever you do have a little something left to give. First, stop trying to feel something big. I think this is where most of us go wrong when we're in a funk. We sit down and demand a download from the universe. We meditate harder. We journal harder. And when nothing happens, we feel even further away. Instead, lower the bar. Ridiculously low. Light a candle and just watch it for 90 seconds. That's it. That's the whole practice today. You're not failing if nothing mystical happens. You're just letting your nervous system remember what stillness feels like. Another thing you can try is move your body without a goal. Intuition doesn't only live in your head, it lives in your body. And when we're disconnected, sometimes it's because we're living entirely from the neck up. Go for a walk with no destination, stretch on the floor while a song plays, dance badly in your bathroom. You're not doing this to raise your vibration. You're doing it to remind your body that it's still yours. You're still safe and still worth listening to. Number 3, get curious about the silence instead of being afraid of it. Next time you sit down to connect and it feels quiet, try asking yourself out loud or in your journal, what's the silence trying to tell me? Sometimes the answer is you need rest. Sometimes it's you've been performing your spirituality instead of living it. Sometimes there's no answer at all yet, and that's okay too. Silence isn't always absence. Sometimes it's a waiting room. You can also try going back to the beginner's version of your practice. Think back to before you knew all the right ways to do things, before the books, before the courses, before the rules about how a real intuitive hit is supposed to feel. What did you do back then? Maybe it was as simple as looking at the moon or enjoying a cup of tea, stretching, smelling your favorite smell like lavender or roses, putting on a special outfit or jewelry. Whatever it is, go do that again. What have you abandoned on your path of spirituality? Let it be small and unimpressive and yours. Number 5, nature. I always bring up nature. You don't have to do anything special outside. Just be near a tree, a body of water, a patch of sky. Nature doesn't require you to interpret it correctly. It just asks you to notice it. And that noticing over time tends to loosen something in us. Another thing you can try is to talk to your intuition like it's a friend who's been quiet lately. It's not a test. It's not a demand. just a check-in. Hey, I miss you. No pressure to answer. Sometimes reconnecting starts with just showing up consistently without expecting anything back, the way you would with a friendship you want to cultivate and support. And again, remember to rest without guilt. Sometimes a spiritual funk isn't a spiritual problem at all. It's exhaustion wearing a spiritual costume. If you've been giving and holding space for everyone else, of course the well feels empty. Filling it isn't a detour from your path. It is the path. Okay, take a deep breath with me. However that landed, however much of it applies to you, you're doing fine, truly. Now, for my witchy friends, pull your broom a little bit closer because the next part is for you. And even if you don't really identify as a witch, stick around because some of these tips can be applied in other ways. A witchy funk has its own flavor, doesn't it? It's not just, I feel spiritually foggy. It's, my altar has dust on it and I feel guilty every time I walk past it. It's, I haven't lit a candle with intention in weeks. My tarot deck is in the drawer and I can't even look at it right now. So here's some gentle witchy medicine for you. Number 1, let your altar rest too. Your altar doesn't have to be a shrine to your discipline. It can be a shelf that's quiet for a while. If the dust bothers you, wipe it down with zero ceremony. No ritual required, just a cloth and a hey, I still love you, I will be back. And 2, do a teeny craft instead of a whole ritual. Skip the full moon ceremony with all 7 steps. Just light that one candle. Just draw one tarot card. Or hold one crystal in your palm while you make coffee. Your craft doesn't need a production. And 3, reconnect through your senses, not your symbolism. Smell your favorite herb without assigning it a correspondence. Run your fingers through salt. Listen to rain. Sometimes we get so deep into meaning making, we forget that our craft is also just sensory, embodied, delicious. Let it be simple again. Next thing you can try is to read for the joy of it, not for answers. Pull a tarot or an oracle card, and instead of asking, what does this mean for my life? Just admire the artwork. Notice the color. Notice a detail you've never noticed before. Let the deck be a friend again instead of an oracle you're demanding answers from. You can also revisit your book of spells or your book of shadows as a memory, not as a to-do list. Open it up, but just to read. Flip back to something you wrote a year ago, 2 years ago, whenever you started. Notice how far you've come, what's changed, what still feels true. You're not behind on your book just because you haven't written in it lately. It's not a chore log. It's a love letter to yourself over time. Sometimes just remembering you're the kind of person who keeps one is enough to feel a little more like yourself again. Number 6, watch or listen to something witchy, just for comfort, not for study. Put on a cozy witchy movie you've seen 100 times. Practical magic. Cue up a witchy podcast. Hi, hello, we see you. Let a show with candles and covens and cauldrons play in the background while you're doing nothing else in particular. It's letting the amazing aesthetic and the feeling of the craft wrap around you like a blanket. No performance required. Also, go outside and just be a witch in the world. Collect a pretty rock or a feather, a leaf or a flower. Notice which way the wind is blowing. Say hello to a plant. So much about the craft lives in noticing, and noticing doesn't require a single tool. You can also let community hold you for a minute. Text a witchy friend and say, I miss my practice, and then let them remind you that it misses you too, and it's not going anywhere. Join a group chat, a coven call, or even just lurk in a witchy corner of the internet where people feel like home. And of course, you can also give yourself permission to not identify with it for a little bit. Sometimes the fastest way back from a witchy funk is to loosen your grip on the label entirely. You don't lose your craft by taking a break from it. Roots don't die just because the leaves go quiet for a season. And finally, of course, the same gut check applies here too. If your altar's been quiet because life has been loud, that's not a rusty practice. That's a witch who's been busy surviving. Rest before ritual every time. Your magic will still be there, as always. So, spiritual funk, witchy funk, whatever you want to call the fog you're in right now, I want you to leave this episode with just one thing. You don't have to force your way back to connection. You just have to leave the door open a little bit. Light doesn't need a grand invitation. It just needs a gap to slip through. Thank you for spending this time with me in the spirit parlor tonight. Blow out a candle if you lit one, or leave it burning a little longer if you're not ready to let this feeling go just yet. If you are a member of my Patreon, you can download a lovely printable offering that illustrates and reminds you of some of the things we talked about tonight. I will make a spiritual version and a witchy version. So visit my Patreon at patreon.com/italktoghosts, and all my printable downloads are available for $1 a month. Thanks again. I'm Jennifer, and until next time, trust the quiet. It is full of energy, and you are energy too. Take care.